I haven't done a video, man, in about a week. There's reasons behind that, trust me. Oh, let me tell you how it's been. If it hasn't been for pop-up thunderstorms and then just rain killing my plans, it's a car. Yeah. Let me go ahead and take Stormy back in, and I'm going to tell you what's been going on. Alright, let's walk down here to my daughter's car. Now, most of you folks out there, I'm sure, have kids, right? And I'm sure maybe some of your kids are at the age they drive, and maybe they're lucky enough to have their own vehicles. Now, my daughter's 28 years old, and I gotta give her credit for some certain things. But the other day, it was actually Saturday, I had plans. Well, we had a thunderstorm that morning, so we moved our plans towards the evening. My daughter comes out like she does every other day to go to work, and she comes in the house about 5 minutes later. Dad, my car won't start. This is my daughter's car. It's a 2012 Toyota Camry. It's got about 130,000 miles on it. And believe me, she gives it hell. Now, over the years, I taught my daughter, thank God we taught our daughter, to go in for regular oil changes, get maintenance done on the car. My daughter works the furthest away, folks. Her job is a pretty good piece from here, so she needs a very reliable car. So when she came in the house the other morning and she's like, our car won't start, I was like, okay. Probably a dead battery. Will it turn over? No. So I come out here, being the father that I am, and I'm going to check the battery, obviously. So I get out here, I have her lift the hood, I look at the battery, I try to move the cable, see if they're loose. Oh no. I have her try to start it again. No can do. Well, on our insurance, we do have, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like AAA. So we called them to see if they come out and get a jump. So I was like, maybe it's just, maybe you left your lights on through the night, or your dome light inside. That's what we was thinking. She might have left her dome light on and killed the battery. So the guy comes out. He has a fancy little device, guys. I'm telling you now, this thing was no bigger than my hand, and it jumped this car right now. She takes off, goes to work, and I was like, well, if you left your dome light on, your battery will charge up by the time you get to work. But when you get to work, I want you to turn it off, wait about a minute or two, then try to start it again, see if it starts. Let me know you arrived. So she's off. I was like, okay. Well, I had plans to go fishing that day. Oh yeah. So I basically started getting my stuff together, got my camera gear together, which is funny because my camera gear, when I just loaded up to put the selfie stick on the battery and the GoPro, it was still laid out from the other day. Yeah. I do that every time I get ready to go on any type of adventure, the night before I get my camera gear. But we're getting off the subject, isn't we? So my daughter arrives at work, and she tries to start the car. It wouldn't start. So she calls me on the phone, Dad, it won't start. I was like, oh boy, God, I hope it's not the alternator. I said, it could still be the battery. You could have a very dead battery. I was like, okay, go ahead and work out through the day. I will cancel my plans, which she was upset that I had to do that. I said, no, don't worry about it. So I'm like, you know what? We're going to need a battery jumper. We're going to need a jumper anyway. We eventually, it could come in handy, especially when we go camping, if we get one that has multiple uses for it. And plus, what was it, back about 2 years ago or maybe a year ago? Sam and Missy, we was fishing, and their SUV wouldn't start. They had a dead battery. And that could have came in handy then. Now, I'm not going to jump anybody with my car. There's no way in hell. So Angie and I take out of here, roughly about 4 o'clock. Now, Elizabeth gets off at 8:30. We take off about 4:30. We go to AutoZone. We buy a charger, a jumper, I mean. We buy a jumper. And it cost a pretty penny, too. And it didn't have all the bells and whistles I was hoping it would have, but it does have some. Well, one. So the lady says there should be enough charge in there. You don't have to take it home and charge it. There should be enough in there to jump her car. So on the way out there, Angie's like, I want to go to Michael's. We got to kill some time. So we get out there, and about 10 minutes before she got off work, I wanted to give it a jump and leave it run for 10 minutes. Boom, it took the jump. One of the reasons I wanted to get a jumper was, in case it was the alternator, I didn't want my daughter to drive home in the dark, because she would have to use the headlights. And if it's the alternator, it just pretty much makes your car stall or dim your lights. So the whole idea, and plus I would have had to call AAA, we're going to call it, to get another jump, and I didn't want that. My time period wasn't fitting up in that. So that's one of the other reasons I bought the jumper. Well, it took the jump, and I was like, okay, we just have enough time to get home before it gets super dark, at least I thought. So basically, we're headed back. The car took the jump, obviously, and we're headed back, and it started to get dark. So I was like, Elizabeth, turn on your headlights. So she turned on her headlights, and I know with a bad alternator, your headlights would be very dim. Hers was very bright. I was like, maybe it isn't the alternator. I got an idea. She's going to need a new battery anyway. I knew that. The battery, I don't think the battery has been changed in this car, at least in the last 5 years, or the life of the car, to be honest with you. So we go back over to the AutoZone, a different one, and we purchase a battery. Right now it's going on, almost 9:30. Okay, I had to wait for him to pass. It's 9:30 at night, so I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to install the battery or anything like that. No. I do it in the morning. So we went to bed, woke up Sunday morning. Now Sunday I had plans to go fishing too. Remember that. I still have plans to go fishing. Well, that's all canceled because right now, well, I still thought I could do it in the evening time if I get the battery in there in the morning. Oh God, let me tell you something, folks. I've changed many batteries in my time of life here. Many times. In my truck, I thought that was a hard one to change because the truck being so high, and I'm only 5'9". I mean, I remember when I changed the battery in that, I pulled my back, tried to lift that battery all the way up to here. I thought that was tough. Guys, I lifted up her hood and I got my tools ready to change the battery, only to find out what happened to my tools. I opened up my toolbox trying to look for my tools to use to get the battery off, and I didn't have half my tools. I don't know what happened to them. So off to AutoZone we go. No. We went to another store. I can't remember the name of it. And we bought a socket set. So I couldn't find none of my tools. I don't know what happened to them. Honest to God, I don't. So I bought a socket set, came home, and I loosened up the bolts for the battery, and guys, I could not get the post off. No. It was so molded on there. It was so tightly on there. And then, not to mention, I'm doing this in the hot sun. I'm doing this in the heat and humidity. Then I drop one of my tools down inside the engine. I couldn't get that out. Oh my gosh, it was a nightmare. Oh, let me tell you. What should have took me about maybe 5-10 minutes took me hours to do. Because if it wasn't for me dropping the damn tools in the car, down in the engine department, excuse me guys, if it wasn't for me doing that, I couldn't get the battery off. Or out. Okay, I finally got the battery out, the new one in, and she had to go to work that night. I say, call me when you get there. Then during her lunch period, I want her to go out and start it. I was like, since it's a brand new battery, I'm going to give it about 72 hours of run time, or 72 hours. If it's the alternator, it would kill it. Well, we're still in that time zone. But I decided to have a talk with my daughter. And here's where I give her props, guys. All the years of preaching at her, she's finally listening to what her dad says. Hold on, guys, stop. I actually have a child, well, she ain't a child. I have a grown-up kid that is actually listening to what dad and mom is saying. Yes, she's listening. You know how freaking rare that is? Well, let me tell you what I was telling her. I told her, I said, Elizabeth, that car has a lot of miles on it. It has a ton of miles on it. I said, it's time for things to start breaking down on it. I said, unlike when you bought the car, your credit wasn't that good. We had a cosign. Your credit is excellent today. You could pretty much walk into any car lot, use that car for a trade-in, maybe a few bucks down, and walk out with any car you choose. I think you need to update it. I'm not saying a brand new car, no. But you could if you wanted to. I'm saying get a newer car, less miles. Because you are going to be faced with this many times. You're driving pretty much 40 miles, 40, 45 miles a day to go one way and one way back. I said, and you drive, mostly it's all highway miles, guys. And the highway she has to go to work, if she breaks down, she's got nowhere to pull over. Oh, God, no. And then if she does find a place to pull over, it's super dangerous. This is the major highway. So I was like, I want you to think about trading your precious car that she loves and getting an up-to-date car. And she says, Dad, it's good advice, thank you. I will do that. I consider it. So, yesterday evening, she done her homework, and let's bring you up to date to this morning. This morning, we decided we want to take it down to the mechanic to make sure it's mechanically inclined to at least get some more miles on it, because she's still on the ropes. Does she want to trade it in or not? Well, woke up this morning to get ready to go to mechanics. I mowed grass, as you can tell. Doesn't it look pretty? And my daughter's sick. Yeah, she's got a major bellyache. She's been up all night with it. She does have today off, so we have to put it going to the mechanics off to another day. But guys, she may be taking the car in and trading it in for a newer car. She's seriously thinking about it, and when that happens, I take you guys with me. That's right. I love doing this stuff. I love car shopping. I just hate the paperwork in it, but the paperwork ain't me. It's all her this time. But guys, whew, I do have another video coming up next of something that's just more crazier than this one. It's actually really crazy, and it might catch your all's attention what I'm going to tell you in the next video. But you gotta wait. You gotta wait a couple days on that. I promise I won't make you wait another 5 days. It did feel good not to pick up the camera for 5 days, to be honest with you. It seriously did. But the outcome of the car, I will let you know in future videos. Right now, the new battery seems to be doing its job. We still want to get it in the mechanic shop, because, you know, I want to make sure it ain't the alternator. I'm still not for sure. It may be the alternator. But we're going to start it, drive it around a little bit today. The big double sure, and in future videos, if she decides to get another car, I'll let you all know. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. My daughter, I actually have an adult child that listened to my advice. You know how rare that is, folks. Let's head up towards the house. That is super rare. Now, if only I could get my boys to do it. Yeah, right. I mean, did we listen to our parents when we was younger? I didn't. You know? And my daughter's 28 years old, so it only took that long for her to start listening to us. I don't know. Alright guys, until next time, come on, let's get out of here. We'll see you in a couple days, and I promise I won't make you wait another week. But unless something comes up, you never know. And in the next video, what I'm going to tell you, just might, well, I don't know if it's going to blow your socks off, but it's definitely interesting. Yeah. If you guys have been following me, you may have an idea of something that I never really mentioned in my videos, but a couple times. But something I did, or something I got. Alright guys, until next time, come on, let's get out of here. We see you in a couple days.